it's actually possible to get a contract in Europe in just 1 month. And you are here on a Beyond the Court podcast with Coach Arnold. And today our guest is Ivan Sinjkevic, and he will answer on this question during this podcast. Hey, Coach.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Very good, very good. Thank you one more time for the invitation. And now, just to go directly to the question, we have basically the guys who signed the contract after a week.
Oh, that's great. Incredible.
Now, I said, everything depends on the day one, to be honest with you. And basically, not just that day, but what you did previous months, years, and everything. Of course, the better CV, let's say, the better history you have, more easily for you will be. Yes, so you will be more attractive players. Yes, for the I said, agents, coaches, teams in general. Yes. So yeah, the answer is yes. But now, what is I cannot tell problem, but majority of the players came here unprepared. Okay. And for them, they need little bit more. Some of them, like I said, it's mission impossible. But for some of the guys, need extra month or 2 or 3. Really depends. But also really depends of the things. But honestly, I am not big fan of, and that is a job market, because we have sometimes the guys who are, I said, able to join basically the team. So they, let's say, match the professional standards. Okay, but let's say the job market don't allow them in that moment.
Yeah.
But we basically find for them, or they basically after a month or 2. So it's a small delay, but you basically finish on the spot where you deserve. Let's say like that. Okay.
Yeah, thank you for your answer. And could you please introduce yourself to the audience and tell something about your experience and about EuroBasket preparation program?
Look, I said, I was back in the days also a player. My father was a basketball player, professional. My brother also. So basically I came from basketball family. I found a little bit more success when I was younger, because after that I have an injury of hip, and even right now I have sometimes problem with walking and everything.
Yeah,
Something with the bones and calcium and everything, unfortunately. And after that, of course, I stay in trying to stay in the game, what we all basically love. So I transferred to coach. Honestly, when I was younger and when I was a player, I never planned to be a coach. Okay, I didn't even think about it. But some of my friends, yes, back in the days, because they stopped, they're very young and they transfer as a coaching. So with them, basically, I start liking, some little bit bigger picture, because when you're a player, you just think about your role and things to adjust. But when you're a coach, you need to think about it a bit bigger picture. And that's the thing what I start liking in 2012. I was lucky enough, went to the Barcelona in the academy there. It's a private one. Yes, there's a cooperation with a couple of the teams and everything, because one of friend, yes, he have a connection there. I can tell you, I was lucky enough, and there we stay basically. I stayed there to 2003, 23. So basically 12 and a half seasons. I was there, and after that, basically we moved that everything. I said here. Basically, we start our own basically here in Belgrade with some upgrades, especially with the games. I mean, you was there in one of the games, one of the groups, and I said basically now to talk a little bit more about academy every week. There is a games. Basically, we play 2 leagues, Pro League and the Super League. Of course, depends. Results are not our primary goal, because every month we change the team, and it's almost impossible you to create some crazy team chemistry. You play against
of course,
the teams who are for a longer together, and really depends on the average level of the group. Okay, and we have basically almost every day practice. We always give, depends of the schedule of that week, at least 1 day off. So basically, for the people who are basically the guys who arrive here, they can be prepared for a lot of work and a lot of basketball.
Yeah, of course. And how does the program actually work?
Look, there is people basically apply. We have basically couple programs and couple packages. We have some players who arrive here, has said who already have has said the professional contracts, or they, for example, recovered from the injury, or they already have agent. They already have, let's say, settled thing outside of basketball. So I tell you that depends of the month, basically during the season. And we have also the guys has said who arrive here with like a blanco, yes, with a zero. They just finished, let's say, the college and everything. They arrive here, and that's their basically first experience with some professional, I said, basketball or something. And basically, sometimes like that is a clash of the worlds, like you know. So there is tactical stuff and everything. They are teached a different way. But the guys who basically adapt on time, basically, some like we spoke already. I said somebody need less, somebody need a little bit more time. That's really depends now on them, and from there we go. Because each of them, we are I said like a team, but I watch them like always like a group of individuals. So even during the drills, I said depends on the day one, like we spoke in their history. I asked maybe from the guy who is Division 1 something different comparing to the guy who was some lower level or some no experience at all. So it's not be fair me to ask the same thing. But basically they need I said the match the same standard in the professional role, because like nobody care about your experience. Everybody are interesting what you are right now, and that's it.
Yeah, thank you. And they are all in your program for 1 month. And what happens during this month?
Not all are just 1 month. There is players who are 2 months, 3 months.
Oh,
After there is also people who arrive here on 1 month, and if we have a extra spot or something, yes, there is for example right now in this group, we have the guys, basically 3 guys who are not planned to be here officially. They came here just for a 1 month, but they extended, and because of our infrastructure, we don't like support. There was they need to find their own accommodation and food, but from the basketball standpoint, there is no a problem. What they do, like I tell you, depends of the program and everything. Depends of the goal. There is some guys who arrive here, like I tell you, who already have the agent. They just want to return back in the shape or just upgrade. Let's say they come with the third or second division. They want to work a little bit on the tactical stuff, because the basketball changed a lot in the last couple seasons. There is enormous amount of the games all around, and people don't have especially in the high level, that amount of practices like they have before. So basically, for that great coaches, they have a little bit less impact than they have back in the days. And here, for example, in our program, we have that kind of luxury that we are able, because of time, to practice that amount, and especially with the seniors. I mean, you work with the younger, and it's a good, because it's a development and everything. But when you get to the seniors, there is no too much the people or coaches, all that years or programs, whatever, who will work with the guys like we do, for example, to develop them as much as possible, closest to the professional line. And of course, there is also a little bit of, like I tell you, it's not just dribbling, shooting, and everything. I do with them, for example, after each game, we're going like a video analysis. So we try basically to provide as much as possible as a high-level professional experience to them. Okay, so they understand. For example, the guys are today basically a lot of people teach them, 1-on-2, you are good, some wild shots and everything. And unfortunately, I can tell you this group and the last group, basically, let's say 30-40% of the mistakes they doing is basically they pick up the shot without a vent. For example, other things where we create a mismatch, they are not able to recognize. When you have a mismatch, you need to be able to beat that yes mismatch, because we play basically for you. You are our winning condition, and etc. Don't go too deep into that. And basically, also passing. Passing is, I think, a dying category, to be honest with you. There is a lot of perimeter players arriving, not just here, I mean, in general. I said, I don't think people work on passing as much as they're supposed to, because the first feeling when I was a player, when I go to the seniors, is, you know, the power, the strength and accuracy of the passing when you receive.
Yeah, yeah.
I said, other thing is basically a pass break. I mean, that is already a huge thing. That's why I lose my hair. I said, we have, I don't know how many per game, 3-on-1, 4-on-2, you know, some situation advantage, basically, where, you know, the good players, I said, the serious team. That's how you see the serious team, not by amount of the sets they have. So how quickly they solve the mismatches and number advantage situations. So if they are good in that, you don't need the crazy amount of sets. Of course, you will always need something to target, you know, something, and et cetera. But that is basically what I try to do with them for that a month or two. And it's a little, I mean, I try to explain you this as short as possible, but we go a little bit large. But trust me, there is also a lot of more details inside, you know. So, you know, like I said, acting lazy in the defense. If I'm not the one who received the, you already know, that's a little bit of also. If he don't receive the ball in the offense, I don't want to play now 100% defense, etc., etc. But in the high level, I mean, that will be in your contract. You know, you need that. That's basically you choose that to be your job. That's basically that's it. So you're not here just because you like basketball. I don't have really nothing against that. But I said, if you want to go somewhere and somebody actually pay you, you know, basically you need to show some results. Yes.
Of course.
So you're not let's say like this, to make this more easy for you and your audience to understand. People don't need excuses. People need you to bring solutions for their problems. And basically that's it. The more solutions you have, the more, I said, adapting you are. Yes. Basically that's it.
Oh, thank you. That's a lot of great minds, you know, in your answer. And some more about your training. What makes it different from regular training?
From regular training, look, just now to connect the answers, what we spoke about tactical stuff and how we. I tell you, I was there in Barcelona for a really long time, and I have. I said, I mean, we both was in the EuroLeague. I said, coach, academy and everything. I was a little bit earlier. I was a little bit older. But I said, I really have experience, I said, even prior to that, with I said, with academy in Barcelona. I have basically a lot of, I said, coaches, you know, standing there nearby, you know, watching what they real practice is what they ask for. And now to go to your question is basically what separate. I try always to connect segments, you know. Now to explain you, like I said, from the day one, or let's say first day 2 or 3, because sometimes we don't have on day 1 complete group because of the airplanes. You already know how that function. Not everybody lands in the same day, unfortunately. But when you have complete group, more or less, I need to know, I said, the average level of the group, you know, because like I tell you, because of their history, because of their CV, something what is normal for some of the players, for somebody it's totally new. He see that basically first time in their life, even if they're not supposed to by, you know, by their birth certificate. Yes. But he said, but it is what it is. So we are, I said, we cannot complain. So on me, it's just to work what we have in that moment. So we need to, I said, analyze it. Like I said, to hit the average level of the group, and after that, after we know the average level of the group, to see, I said, which one of the players can be, you know, find the roles, you know. I also, I said, explain them, I said, the roles of the opponents. So basically, in the practice, I try to connect all that segments. Let's say we play, let's say Iverson, let's say what we play last one. We play basic Iverson out into the Spain, chin into the Spain pick and roll. And I said, and from there, I said, we always want to know which one of the guys are able to fill which role. And from there, I basically create the drills, like partial, you know, from the, I said,
That's interesting. Yeah.
Just pick a role with the different options. When it's a stuck, when it's a leak. They read, defending coverage. They play drop, so we going stuck. If they hedge, we go lead. How to read. I said if you are not able to open, let's say the pass on the leak like a mirror, so we will mirror pass on opposite side. So the guy from the from the strong corner need to lift. They are blitzing him. Stuff like that. So I mean, it sounds like right now when we talk kind of like I tell regular, yes, but I said when you have a totally new group, it's a really a lot of stuff you to put together because I need to think sometimes when this point guard, I said I have let's say riding point guard who are not able to open from the push pass mirror, they are not able because they are individually not on the level where they're supposed to be, and then I need to create. I said at least for the first couple of games, after the retreat dribble to open with the rack, and then when the practices we need to work. I always find, I said, during that segments also a little bit of extra drills inside of those. And like I said on the beginning, I give them each of them something different. So we want to hit, for example, let's say, you are a player and you are there with the mirror pass. So I will always want that, I said, to be on the left. Of course, we on the game, we'll do on the right because I keep them in the game. We are not in the lab. So if you are able to do one thing good, just do that one thing, because you don't want to look bad, And more or less, that's it. Because like I tell you, we have basically 4 practices during the week and 2 games. And I also need to balance that a little bit. So I said when you have that type of the tempo, and a lot of guys who are not adjusted to that, basically, to a lot of them, it's a new one, to have that amount of practices, that amount of, practices more or less, but that amount of the games. And they basically survive, I can tell kind of good, okay, first week, it's kind of a jet lag, so 3-4 days depends of the flight and everything. But let's say after 10 days, you see they starting because they are not used to that. So first 10 days, they survive kind of okay, because first of all, I have a less intensity with them. Of course, I didn't want somebody to get injured, the moment they land. And the second thing, basically, they are fresh, they are fresh after it. But after that, when you get into that other weeks, when you basically supposed to show basically that you are used on that tempo and everything, that's where majority of the guys unfortunately fall down. And it's very important also, I said, to know in the program they will not work just with me. Okay, they will work also with the coach, with Coach Miles. We also have a weight room, basically a fitness team who work with them. I said they are split in the group. I said, for example, we have now Chiamo, and I said they will work a little bit more on mobility. For example, I tell my fitness coach I want to work on the mobility. Do you know why? Because after a hedge, if they're doing hedge and if he do a short throw, he's not mobile enough because he's a tall guy to receive a pocket pass. So we always need with him to open some, I said, sharp lob pass. And that is also how I said the players need to understand their personnel. The who you pass the ball like this, the who you pass the ball like this. That is a small details here and there, but when you combine all of that together, it's a really big, I said, pile of information what they need to handle. But in the end of the day, we are here because of that. Yes, because they decide, I said, they want to be professional players, or some of them, like I tell you, want just a return in the shape, and more or less that's it. So it's a little bit, because it's really wide spectrum of the things.
Yeah, that's interesting. And how many sessions they have per week?
With me?
Yeah.
Yeah, with me they have 4 sessions per week, and plus, because we have like a video analysis. You start with that. So right now, for example, I sent every each of them after, let's say, a couple days after a game. But even I now start, I said, doing it differently, because I figured out their focus dropping. So I also need to adjust. So right now I send them mistakes basically a day or on the day of the game. Because if I send them, because let's say on the Tuesday or Wednesday, because we usually have Monday off usually. And so if I send them, let's say, and we have next game Saturday and Sunday, because a lot of times we have a double game. Yes, during the weekends they forget a lot of it.
Oh.
And because that's why, instead of we sending, that is like, professional. You finish, you good, you expect they will do their job. But unfortunately, some of them yes. I don't want to put, you cannot put everybody together to generalize the thing. I really don't like it. But I said, I send them that, I can tell you, around 34 hours or less before the game, so they can basically at least look at once, and more or less that's it. But that is also a little bit of how much that is interesting, stuff for you. Because if you are not interested to improve, I mean, I can give you the best drills. I mean, not me, every coach can give you the best drills in the world, explain you to the nearest detail, and everything. For example, like I tell you, we have, let's say, Spain pick and roll drill, and or let's say yesterday, you give example yesterday, we were doing a double drag drill, we want always first one to be in alignment higher, lower, and the second one, because let's say a lot of times, we don't pick the players here. And we will also, in this kind of programs, you will always have a little bit more of a perimeter players, so guards, yes, and kind of wings than bigs, and you always need to hide some of your weaknesses as much as possible, yes. But sometimes even that have a limit, this is not basketball 50 years ago that people, are wow, in some things. This is everything right now. If you have an internet, you can learn if you want, everything. Let's say, and on the second one, let's say we play drop. On the first one, we play drop. On the second one, we play hedge.
Yeah.
That is already a confusion. Who play drop? Who do this? Why? And this guy right now who don't open a mirror pass need to rescreen the let's say the second one. The second one, it is possible, but I with the hedge push him not to be possible. And they doing that. And that is a mistakes where basically they develop, I said, their basketball IQ. Because I want to see them basically in that type of chaos. You understand? So he know for the previous rule what I give him that he need to always open with the left, hand, because like I tell you on the beginning, we want to practice left with him, because I mean today you cannot be point guard, or perimeter player if you're not able to pass with your left and right. I mean that's what we're talking about. That what is the kids doing, and because. But that is not the point. The point is that he understands that he always needs to open a short roll. And sometimes I said, even when we go in with the scrimmages, I prepare, let's say, a totally different thing. So let's say we divide into, two teams. Let's say they're usually every day, basically, we play. I like to play with them. And even I give them every day some new sets, some new segments, everything new, even what we don't use that, I said, in the game. I mean, I'd be more than glad to use that in the game and to adjust always towards our opponents and everything. But unfortunately here, I said, you will have the guys, because look, for me, that's not a problem. But the problem is we will have from 5 guys, 2 guys or 3 guys will be able to do that, and the rest of the guys, no. And then you create even worse things. So I kind of stick to the some systems, We start, let's say, with Spain. After I said, we start with the Iverson, it's a decoy or no, or we going traveling. If the pass is there, we go into the Dallas section. If there is no, if it's out, if he pass, we go into the chain, into the Spain. I gave you just some example. There is enormous amount of the things we do. We start sometimes even from the floppy or something. Interesting thing, I said, last now this Sunday, one of the guys, I said, hopefully grow as a player. We lose the game. Like I tell you, it's not a problem. We lose the game basically. I said in the last 20 seconds. And there was mistake after mistake. We like I said, draft basically in the timeout. One of the specials. We basically a twirl exit, and we have always a first screener to be basically I said a gravity mover, basically of the defense. After a twirl when he go out, and basically you push whole their defense there. And usually in that kind of situations, the screeners, what people don't understand, screeners are much more dangerous than this guy. If because they will double team there, switch, have instant mismatch. And that is what you need looking for. And they make a mistake, open the pass, and was the guy totally alone on opposite side. And we lose the game, but actually, I cannot tell I'm glad. I looked at, but I just tell him, I hope you learn from this.
Yeah.
You know, because for us, like I tell you, it's not a, in the team there'll be disaster. You know, people will crucify you. You know, in the I said, in next month in the newspaper and everything, how you don't know to play basketball, everything. But that is also the luxury we have here in academy, that the things and the mistakes you basically cannot afford to make in the team, you can basically do here. And that's why I tell to the players, do 1,000 mistakes, but each one to be different. So if you repeat, we are stuck with it. So if you do 1,000 mistakes and it's a different, you good.
That's okay again. I understand. I remember that you have not a lot of time, and I should to ask a last question, and my red light turns off. Okay. The last question. What separates players who succeed versus fail?
Who succeed and who fail. I will tell you one thing. Look, first and foremost, people will not teach you the effort. You know, that nobody will teach you the effort in a senior basket. Even sometimes, yes, you receive motivation and everything, but I will tell you what is succeed and what is not. It's adaptation. That is the one word. Like I can, if I need to choose, it's adaptation. Because a lot of guys, for example, like you practice the younger. I'm pretty sure you have some, I said, very decent players, yes, who are able to, in that age, at the sport, enormous amount. But when he go, let's say in the seniors, he will be the guy who is have a different role. And how quickly you adapt, not just young guys. You have the players, I said, who in one team was a top scorers or something. And if you chase the winning or something, yes, and if you go there and there is somebody a little bit better in the things what you are good at, yes, you need to adjust, or adapt, basically, how you want to. So that's basically the thing. I mean, we can speak right now about routine. You need to be disciplined on the court, outside the court. But I don't say that because in this world, that's normal. That's not supposed to be something what we explaining. Because when you get into the seniors, you know that you need to be, in bed on time. You need to take care about your body. You need to take care about your food, about your extra workouts. That is your routine, and people will pay you to do that. You understand? So that's why I said, and coaches, staff, and everything, they have other things to do. You understand? So that bring you more closer to success, because that's the thing. What you can just, I mean, nobody can eat for you. Yes, nobody can take care of your body. That is your thing. So number one thing is basically adaptation. I mean, you have a lot of times. For example, in Partizan, Arijan Lakic, he was basically, I think, a couple years ago, he was one of the top scorer, even not the top scorer of the ABA league. And right now, when he moved, I said, into the Partizan, he is one of the best perimeter defenders, for example. I mean, you have a numerous, I said, examples. I mean, this is a little bit more, I said, really big twist. You don't need to go that far, yes, but that is basically the thing, because that is a job, You just need to do what people ask from you. I mean, sometimes, basically, not sometimes, I'll be honest with you, majority of the times, you will do things what you don't like. And you will just couple of the guys will do, I said, the things that they like. And adaptation is number one thing if you want to succeed. Because sometimes you will play for a coach you don't like. Sometimes the salary will late and everything. But you need to also to adapt, basically to survive, to go through that. Because you, let's say, make a start, so you show that you understand the game on the high level. So somebody else can pick you up and you move forward. So you have a better tomorrow. Let's say that.
Yeah, I agree with you. Thank you for this conversation. And I really appreciate you to visit in my podcast. Thank you. Have a nice day.
You too. Bye-bye.